Imagine this for a moment. You're standing on a windswept mountaintop. A vast panorama stretches beneath you. Wind whips through your hair, a symbol of the challenges you faced. Every struggle and battle is left in the dust. You feel profound accomplishment. A quiet power hums within you. Ahead lies boundless freedom. Ahead lies a clear, unwavering purpose. Ahead lies deep, unshakable peace. This is the climax of your epic journey. But the enemy here isn't a cackling, world-destroying villain. It isn't a shadowy organization. It isn't a monstrous beast. The real adversary is much closer: your bad spending habits. These are the daily choices holding you back. Think of anime heroes for a second. Naruto standing tall after pain. Luffy ringing the great ox bell. Deku pushing past limits at the UA Sports Festival. Each moment is a turning point. Victory over internal limits. That breakthrough feeling is what we're chasing. This is the journey we'll take together. A financial training arc. Epic and transformative. Face challenges, learn techniques, and emerge stronger. Not just saving money, claiming your power and writing the next chapter of your story. Welcome to Money Talks with Adia, the place where we transform complex financial knowledge into your very own set of superpowers. Here, we believe that managing your money shouldn't feel like a chore or a punishment. Instead, it should feel like an empowering adventure, a quest where you are the main character, growing stronger with every step you take. We are dedicated to breaking down the intimidating world of personal finance into simple, actionable strategies that you can start using immediately. Forget boring spreadsheets and confusing jargon. We're here to make finance accessible, engaging, and maybe even a little bit fun. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that affects every single one of us. We are going to unlock the hidden psychology that secretly drives your spending habits. You'll discover why you make the financial choices you do, often without even realizing it. We will help you reveal your unique spending personality, the distinct archetype that defines your relationship with money. Think of it as discovering your financial class, like a warrior mage rogue. Understanding this core identity is the crucial first step toward mastering your financial future and building lasting wealth. This journey is about more than just budgeting or cutting coupons. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset and your relationship with money. Over the course of our time together, we will give you the practical tools and strategic techniques you need to outsmart the villain that currently resides in your wallet. This villain is cunning. It preys on your emotions, your impulses, and your moments of weakness. It convinces you that you need things you don't, that instant gratification is more important than long-term security, and that you can worry about the consequences later. But every villain has a weakness, and today you will learn how to exploit it. We will equip you with a 5-step battle plan designed to dismantle your bad habits and replace them with powerful, wealth-building behaviors. By the end of our journey, you won't just be defending against your worst impulses. You will be on the offensive, actively building the life of financial freedom you've always imagined. Get ready, because your training arc is about to officially begin. The path to becoming a financial hero starts right here, right now. Before any great hero can charge into battle, they must first understand the nature of the enemy they face. A swordsman studies his opponent's stance. A strategist analyzes the enemy's formation. A ninja learns the weaknesses of their target. In your financial anime arc, this ancient wisdom holds true, but with a surprising twist. Before you can hope to fight the enemy that drains your bank account, you must first turn your gaze inward and acknowledge a difficult truth. Sometimes the most formidable enemy you will ever face is, in fact, yourself. Impulses, emotions, unquestioned habits. This isn't about self-blame or feeling guilty about past mistakes. Instead, it's about empowerment through self-awareness. It's about taking a brave and honest look at the internal forces that drive your financial decisions. Think of a Zuko-inspired character locked in a constant internal struggle. Desire for his father's approval, burgeoning sense of right and wrong. His journey to find his true self was messy and filled with conflict. Only by confronting his inner turmoil could he step into his power and find his destiny. Your journey requires a similar level of introspection. To begin this process of self-discovery, we need to ask some probing questions. It's time for your first journal prompt, your initial step into this training arc. Grab a notebook, open a new document, Write this down. What emotions do I feel right before I buy something unnecessary? Take a moment to really think about it. Is it a wave of boredom on a quiet Tuesday night? Is it the crushing weight of stress after a long and difficult day at work? Or perhaps it's a pang of FOMO when you see your friends posting about their latest purchases on social media. Identifying these emotional triggers is like a scout identifying the enemy's secret pathways. These feelings are the entry points that your bad spending habits use to sneak into your life and wreak havoc on your financial goals. By simply noticing and naming these emotions, you begin to strip them of their power. You are no longer acting on autopilot, driven by invisible forces. Instead, you are becoming a conscious observer of your own mind. This is the first, most critical technique in your new arsenal, the power of awareness. It's the foundation upon which all other financial superpowers will be built. Once you start observing the emotions behind your purchases, you will begin to see patterns emerge. These patterns often fall into several common archetypes, spending personalities. Identifying which one resonates most with you is like discovering your character class in an epic role-playing game. It doesn't define your entire identity, but it reveals your innate strengths, weaknesses, and tendencies. Knowing your archetype helps you understand your default settings so you can learn to override them when they don't serve your ultimate quest for financial freedom. Let's explore some of the most common ones you might encounter on your journey. First, the emotional buyer uses spending to cope or enhance feelings. When they're sad, a new gadget provides a temporary lift. When they're happy, a celebratory shopping spree feels deserved. Spending as a direct reaction to internal emotion, a quick fix for a deeper need. They buy to feel better, retail therapy as a crutch. Dangerous cycle, momentary high fades, then guilt or financial stress appears, which triggers another purchase. Next, the status seeker buys luxury brands, buys the latest tech, buys expensive experiences, not just for enjoyment, for external validation. Self-worth tied to perceived value of possessions, uses spending as a signal to the world. Danger, constantly chasing a moving target, always needing the next big thing to maintain their image. Finally, the avoider, simply doesn't want to deal with finances, doesn't track spending, doesn't open bank statements. Lives by ignorance is bliss. Only aware when it's too late, card declined, or a bill goes to collections. Lastly, the giver derives joy from spending on others, incredibly generous with friends and family, often neglects their own financial needs and goals, leaving themselves vulnerable. It's time for your first challenge, a simple yet incredibly powerful mission that will give you a crystal clear picture of your own unique habits. For the next 7 days, become a detective of your own finances. Track not just what you spend, but how you feel when you spend it. This is your chance to gather the raw data. Understand the villain. This is the Money Mood Tracker Challenge. For 1 full week, every single time you make a purchase, morning coffee, a new video game, your monthly rent, or an impulse buy from an Instagram ad, write it down. You can use a small notebook, a notes app on your phone, or download the free Money Mood Tracker template linked below. Be diligent. Don't let a single transaction slip by. This level of detail is crucial for uncovering hidden patterns. The most important part isn't just listing items and cost. Next to every purchase, write the primary emotion you felt: bored and scrolling online, stressed from work, happy and celebrating, insecure and trying to keep up with someone else. This connection between emotion and action is the secret code you need to crack. This exercise might feel a bit tedious, but think of it as your reconnaissance mission. Just like Todoroki confronting his past and emotions to unlock his power, you must confront the feelings tied to your spending. After 7 days, you'll have a powerful document, a map of your emotional and financial landscape, showing triggers and weak moments. This knowledge is your first superpower. Now that you've begun your reconnaissance mission to identify your spending personality, it's time to learn your first defensive technique. This is a foundational move, a powerful counterattack against your most impulsive urges. In your financial arsenal, one of the strongest techniques you can master is deceptively simple. It is the power of the pause button. We call this the 24-hour rule. This isn't just about delaying a purchase, it's a strategic maneuver designed to wrestle power away from your fleeting emotions and place it back into the hands of your logical, future-focused self. It's your secret weapon against instant gratification. Think about the most skilled and disciplined warriors in your favorite anime. Consider Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. Before launching into a devastating series of strikes, there is often a moment of complete stillness. He pauses, assesses the situation, calculates his trajectory, and only then does he act with lethal precision. Or picture Tanjiro Kamado from Demon Slayer. He consciously slows his breathing, focuses his mind, and enters a state of total concentration. The 24-hour rule is your version of this strategic pause. Whenever you feel that sudden, intense urge to buy something that isn't an absolute immediate necessity, a new pair of sneakers you saw online, a gadget that just dropped, or even a fancy meal you hadn't planned for, you stop. You don't say no, not yet. You simply say not now. You place the item in your online shopping cart or make a note of it, and then you walk away. You commit to waiting a full 24 hours before you make the final decision. This simple act creates a crucial buffer zone between the emotional trigger and the financial action. It gives the initial wave of excitement, boredom, or stress time to recede. It allows the dopamine rush of new and shiny to wear off, letting your rational mind come back online. More often than not, after a day has passed, the intense must-have-it-now feeling has completely vanished. The desire, which felt so urgent, reveals itself to have been nothing more than a temporary whim. During this time, you can engage with your next journal prompt, a question designed to help you dissect the experience and learn from it. After you've successfully waited 24 hours on a potential impulse purchase, take out your journal. Whether you decide to buy it or not, write down your answer to this question. What happened in those 24 hours that made me think twice? Perhaps you realized the item didn't fit your monthly budget. Maybe you did some research and found a better, cheaper alternative. You read reviews that revealed the product wasn't as great as the marketing claimed. You got busy and forgot about the item, showing you didn't truly need it. Or you thought about your long-term financial goals and gained perspective. Each time you implement the 24-hour rule, you do more than save money. You are actively training your brain. You are building a new neural pathway. You are strengthening self-discipline. You are weakening impulsivity. It's like a training montage in your anime arc. Each repetition makes you stronger. Each repetition makes you faster. Each repetition makes you more resilient. You are teaching yourself to be in control, not your fleeting emotions or clever marketers creating fake urgency. The villain of bad spending thrives in chaos. The 24-hour rule shines a steady light into those shadows. It forces the impulse into the open to be examined rationally. You begin to see desires for what they are. Some are valid and aligned with goals. Many are just noise. By applying this rule consistently, you aren't only defeating urges. You are changing your relationship with desire, transforming from reactive consumer into conscious creator of your financial destiny. You've identified your spending personality, learned to pause before an attack. Now it's time to go on the offensive. To truly defeat your financial foe, you need intelligence, a complete and unvarnished picture of its movements. This brings us to our next critical step. You must track to transform. Your spending habits thrive in the shadows of ignorance. We're going to shine a blinding spotlight on every single dollar. Your mission? Track every single expense for 7 consecutive days. Yes, that means everything. That morning coffee that gets you through the day, the subscription you forgot you had, the late-night Amazon scroll that resulted in a package you don't remember ordering, and even the pack of gum you bought at the gas station. Every single penny must be accounted for. Imagine yourself as the brilliant and eccentric Detective L from Death Note. He defeated his enemies not with brute force, but with meticulous data collection and pattern recognition. He observed, he analyzed, he connected seemingly unrelated pieces of information until the truth was undeniable. Or picture Light Yagami, methodically writing names in his Death Note. You are now applying that same level of focused intensity to your own finances. You are tracking your spending not to punish yourself, but to understand the patterns that govern your behavior and uncover the hidden truths about where your money really goes. For this task, you can use any tool you're comfortable with. A dedicated app like Mint or YNAB can automate much of the process. A simple Google Sheet or a Notion template offers flexibility and control. You could even go old school with a physical paper journal. The specific tool doesn't matter. What matters is the commitment to consistency. For 1 week, you are the unwavering observer, the financial detective on a mission to crack your most important case, your own wallet. To make sense of your spending data, you need a system of classification. This simple act of sorting will transform your raw data from a confusing jumble of numbers into a clear and actionable report on your financial life. Categorizing every expense into one of 3 sacred categories: wants, needs, impulses. Needs are the absolute essentials for your survival and well-being. Think of these as the foundation of your life structure: rent or mortgage payment, essential groceries for home-cooked meals, utility bills like electricity and water, transportation costs to get to work, any necessary insurance premiums. Next, we have the category of wants. These are the expenses that enhance your life and bring you joy, but are not strictly necessary for survival. Netflix subscription, dinners out with friends, new clothes that aren't replacing worn-out items, hobbies, vacation savings. Wants are not inherently bad. In fact, they are a vital part of a balanced and happy life. Finally, we arrive at the most revealing category: impulses. These are the unplanned purchases driven entirely by in-the-moment emotions or sudden urges. Candy bar at the checkout counter, the limited time offer that popped up in your social media feed, the one more drink at the bar that you hadn't budgeted for. By isolating and labeling these expenses, you can clearly see how often and how much these reactive purchases are derailing your financial progress. After your 7 days of meticulous tracking are complete, your next challenge awaits. Sit down with your list of expenses, now neatly sorted into wants, needs, and impulses. This is your moment of truth. Add up the total amount you spent in each of the 3 categories. The results will likely be surprising, and perhaps even a little shocking. With this newfound clarity, it's time for another journal prompt. At the top of a new page, write, "What did I learn about my habits this week?" For your next challenge, you're going to attempt a simple 3-category budget for 1 week. We can call these your survive, needs, save, your financial goals, and spark joy. Wants funds. Overlay. Survive, save, spark joy. This isn't about restriction, it's about intentionality. You are consciously deciding ahead of time how you want to allocate your resources, rather than letting your impulses make the decisions for you. The goal for this week is to eliminate the impulse category altogether by planning your spark joy spending ahead of time. The survive category ensures your foundation is secure. The save category ensures you are actively building your future empire, paying down debt, or investing for your goals. And the spark joy category gives you explicit permission to spend money on things that make you happy, guilt-free, because you planned for it. This structure transforms your budget from a restrictive cage into a powerful tool for freedom. It's the blueprint for building a financial life that is not only stable but also deeply fulfilling and enjoyable. However, even the most powerful heroes have a weakness, a vulnerability a clever enemy can exploit. For Achilles, it was his heel. For Superman, it was kryptonite. For you, your greatest weakness is your collection of personal spending triggers. Understanding these triggers is like learning the enemy's secret attack patterns. Once you know them, prepare a counter strategy and render them powerless. Think of Usopp. His defining weakness was cowardice. At Eni's lobby, his fear almost paralyzed him, but he learned to turn that fear into courage and fought for his friends despite being terrified. He understood his trigger, intense danger, and found a new response. Your mission? Identify your personal kryptonite and transform your spending reaction into a powerful response that serves your goals. Many people's primary trigger is stress. Others' trigger is boredom. Social media is a massive trigger, creating envy and FOMO, fear of missing out, as you see influencers and friends showing purchases, vacations, lifestyles. These triggers are the villain's secret weapons. They bypass your logical brain and hit your emotional core. They create temporary discomfort or desire that spending promises to fix. But it's an illusion. Relief is fleeting and often leaves you worse off. Recognize these predictable patterns and begin to break the cycle and choose a different path. Your next actionable step in this training arc is to become a master strategist like Shikamaru Nara from Naruto. Shikamaru stays calm under pressure, analyzes every angle, formulates a winning plan, knows his limits, knows his opponent's strengths, and uses that knowledge to win. Now apply that strategic thinking to your spending triggers. Take out your journal and, based on your tracking, identify and write your top 3 spending triggers. Once identified and isolated, create a pre-planned response for each trigger. You cannot simply rely on willpower. That's like trying to block a tidal wave with your bare hands. Instead, redirect the energy. Design a low-cost or free self-care ritual to replace spending. This is your interception plan. Let's walk through a few examples. If boredom on weekend afternoons is a trigger, start a new anime series you've been meaning to watch, go for a long walk in a park while listening to a podcast, or dive into a video game. If your trigger is feeling stressed after work, immediately change into comfortable clothes, spend 20 minutes journaling, do a guided meditation, or engage in a quick, intense workout session to burn off anxious energy. The goal is to find an activity that addresses the underlying emotion without costing you money. You are nurturing yourself instead of numbing yourself with consumption. For your final trigger, perhaps it's Instagram envy. Immediately close the app and spend 5 minutes looking at pictures of your own financial goal. Or call a friend to connect in a real, meaningful way. Now it's time for a simple yet surprisingly effective challenge that will serve as a constant reminder of your mission. Your final challenge? Set your phone background or lock screen to a visual of your biggest financial goal. Your phone is often a gateway to impulse spending, so this turns it into a powerful shield that protects your focus. Freedom to travel the world without worrying about money? Use a destination photo as your background. Saving for a down payment on your first home? Use a picture of your ideal house. Working to become completely debt-free? Use a simple graphic that says debt-free. This visual cue works on a subconscious level. Every time you pick up your phone, dozens or hundreds of times a day, you get a powerful reminder of what matters. It forces a micropause, a split-second reflection where you weigh the fleeting impulse against your long-term goal. This simple action transforms your phone from a liability into a strategic asset. It becomes your training partner, reinforcing your why. Build a fortress around your finances. Not just active defenses, but passive fortifications protecting you around the clock. You have reached the final and most profound step of your training arc. You've learned to identify your habits, pause your impulses, track your spending, intercept your triggers. But a true hero doesn't just fight for the sake of fighting. They fight for a cause, for a deeply held belief. This final step is about defining your cause. It's about understanding that true wealth isn't just about stacking cash. True wealth is about living a life aligned with your most important values. Spend less on things that drain your spirit. Direct more resources toward what truly fuels you. Naruto-inspired hero choosing friends over power. Freedom-driven hero breaking chains. Protector hero defending others. Define your hero's true north. Open your journal. Write your top 3 core values. What matters most? Family, freedom, security, growth, adventure, creativity? Once written, review your last 10 non-essential purchases. Look at each one and ask, does this align with a core value? If freedom is top, but purchases lock you into debt, misalignment. This exercise reveals the gap between claimed values and spending behavior. Now it's time to close that gap with your final challenge, creating a values budget. For the next month, you will direct your wants or spark joy money exclusively toward activities and purchases that directly support your top 3 core values. Instead of buying a new video game out of boredom, you might invest that money into an online course or a nonfiction book that aligns with your growth value. Instead of buying fast fashion you'll only wear once, you might use that money to plan a special dinner with friends, directly funding your value of connection. This approach forces every purchase to pass a simple but powerful test. If the answer is no, the decision becomes effortless. To solidify this new mindset, take on one last journal prompt. Am I spending money on things that align with my future self? Your future self is the hero at the end of this anime arc. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. This is the ultimate financial superpower, the ability to wield your money not just to live, but to live with purpose. The truth is, every legendary anime hero had to take that daunting first step, often long before they felt ready or fully prepared. Their journeys were built upon a foundation of small, consistent actions, one after another. You do not need to be perfect starting today. You just need to be consistent. Your mission now is to choose one thing, just one small technique or habit from our journey today, and commit to it. Maybe you'll start by simply using the 24-hour rule on your next impulse. Perhaps you'll commit to tracking your expenses for just 1 week. Or maybe you'll just change your phone's background to an image of your biggest goal. The size of the step doesn't matter. What matters is that you take it. So, our call to action for you today is simple. Go to the comments section below and tell us, what is the one spending habit you are ready to change starting now? By writing it down and sharing it, you make a public declaration, a promise to yourself that your new story begins today. This is your training arc. Financial mastery is not a matter of luck. It is a mindset. It is a skill. It is a practice. You have the knowledge. You have the tools. And most importantly, you have the potential within you to become the hero of your own financial story. You are ready. You are powerful. The adventure is just beginning. Let's go.